Oh, bother.
Hello my friends and welcome back to another episode of Shifting Sands, our Araby Let's Play in Immortal Empires Expanded for Warhammer 3. Now, in our last episode, we were able to seize the Wizard Callus Palace, eliminating all of the undead from the coast of Araby. That said, we've got a major conflict boiling with Réponse de Lyonesse and her, I'm going to say vassal, Mogan the Flame. So, in Al Haik, we've got a decent little stack. I'm not worried about that, but I am worried about Fyrus falling to Réponse. She could very easily seize that from us. We don't have a huge garrison in there, and so I think it's time to once again begin expanding the army. We're going to get another sheik in there. And his name is Nadim Gamil. While I could recruit a Grand Vizier, I think a sheik would do better.
Lord and Master.
Now, as far as what we could do with this guy, let's give him Inspiring Presence. We're going to make him hard to hit. And then we'll start going down this tree as well. Actually, I take that back. Let's give him Route Marcher. We'll give him Bonded Service because he needs to start recruiting and recruiting quickly. So the first thing that we're going to have him recruit is actually going to be some Corsairs. I would love to get him up to, I would love to get him involved with, Sultan Jaffar's troops, get his troops in there, but it's going to take a while for us to get up that way, and we've got to focus on activities down here.
Stand before the Sultan. Devoted to
now,
Araby.
we will be moving up the coast as quickly as we can, but we're going to have to be careful so that we don't take huge losses.
I am a lord of
The
Britain.
Bretonnian armies are no pushovers, and that is going to be a huge problem for us. Taking out Mogan of the Flame, as well as the Sorcerer's Islands, moving into Lashik before we can relieve anything at Kafr, and that's assuming that Réponse doesn't move south instead of going after our capital. So we've got a big war on the, we've got a huge war coming. We've got get ready for it. Let's see what else we can do. We've got the, let's go ahead and give him Inspiring Presence as well. We're going to get his troops starting to gain a little bit of experience ahead of time. Hopefully that will work out for the best.
I cannot.
As far as what we can build, we could go ahead and increase the Black Tower of Arcan. Get that higher, protect our eastern front, but I don't think that anything is going to be coming from our eastern front, so I'm not terribly concerned about that. We could increase the city at the Great Desert of Araby, but again, that's not really going to do a whole bunch for us. It's going to give, I mean, we've already got immune to desert attrition. The additional income would be nice, but that's really all it's going to do for us at the at this time.
No.
And we've got to watch for Mad Mulliton. I don't know that pirates ever come off the sea to attack us, but we know that he is an enemy of ours. And that's really going to be it for this turn. So I'm going to go ahead and move on to the next one, and I'll see you there. All right, and coming back in, Mogan did try to make peace with us, more or less. That obviously was not going to happen. Jaffar is not going to accept peace from any Crusader.
Commander of
Maybe the people who ruled in between would have accepted such a thing, but that is that's not going to be our ruler now. So let's start moving forward. We're going to move forward pretty cautiously. I wish that I always wish that Warhammer 3 had fortification battles, but it does not, unfortunately. So
I find this
We're still going to move forward and fortify. That's going to give us a big bonus as far as leadership and melee
I
defense.
find this acceptable. I go.
Haji, we're going to also have you fortify a stance as well. We don't want anybody
As sure
to
as the sun rises.
be easy to take down. The good thing about the situation that we're in is that the two AIs would have to coordinate their attacks, and unlike human players, they're probably not going to do that.
Devoted
I
to
also
Araby.
see that they have gone ahead and...
Lord and Master.
Oh, and I forgot that I did that.
You stand before
Well,
the
we won't get
Sultan.
that last camel lancer. We'll have to switch it to something else. Let's see what we can do. Let's give Bakir some scorpions. I think that would be good for his army. And then we'll continue
stand
to
before the
give
Sultan.
some corsairs to our newest sheik. We'll probably go ahead and go for Kafir.
Devoted
I'm sure that we
to
could reach
Araby.
it pretty quickly, but I want Rapans to be completely committed to her attack in the south before we do. So maybe next turn we start making our
Lord
move that
and
direction.
Master.
Now, as far as Furious goes, let's go ahead and get that garrison going. We could convert some of our slaves to go ahead and make sure that we're better prepared. I think if ever there was a time to do it, well, let's wait. Let's wait. If she makes a move, then we'll go ahead and change plans, but until then, we can wait. Now let's see.
Lord and Master.
Ziad did complete that mission, which is great. We'll have to send someone else somewhere else. Definitely not west anymore, not into the middle of the fighting. Cargo capacity will work. And I don't really want to empty our war chest just yet, so let's continue just holding off on any further development for the time being.
You stand before the Sultan. You stand before the Sultan.
That's pretty cool that we can trade with ourselves. I was kind of worried about that, actually. Now, let's see. We don't want to send them north because that's going to get us raided by pirates. So... let's trade with Kimri. It's not as big a payday as some of these places, but I think it's good enough. And it's only a 4-turn journey. Now, we don't particularly care for the undead,
You
but we will
stand
trade
before
with
the
them, right?
Sultan.
At least they're not Arcan the Black. Alright, and I think that that's going to be good enough for now. You know, I suppose that we could at least build some infrastructure in the Pools of Despair. I'll go with the Slave Bazaar. And then... oh, actually... scratch that. The Gardens of Bel Alid. That would be really good. And then, what's that other one? The Portal of Twilight. That's going to give us some bonus with Zinch. Now, there's not a lot of Zinch around us, but it will also give us better research rate. Oh, I have to pick one or the other. Ooh, yikes. I say that we go for the gardens. So the glory of the past rises here in what was the most beautiful gardens, or excuse me, the most beautiful wonder of the world, the gardens of Bel Alid. Its vision is a reflection of what Araby once was, the greatest human civilization of the world. I think that that plays pretty well with our campaign, and it's going to take a significant chunk of our income, but worth it. We've got a world wonder, right? And then we will, in fact, go with... yeah, it's not going to let us build the other one. So we will, in fact, go with the Slave Bazaar. That does eat up our income, kind of negating the war chest that I was talking about earlier, but I think that it's well worth the sacrifice. Now, let's go ahead and end this turn, and I'll see you in the next one. Okay, and coming back in, as we come to a desert outpost, we see a terrible sight. The guards are all missing, and blood is everywhere. As we search the outpost to discover what could have caused such a tragedy, the men shout in alarm. A swarm of furious rope jinn, angered at having been bound in such a manner, ready themselves to attack. So, I mean, they killed the people that they killed the people that had bound them, but that just tells us that the group that had bound them they just weren't good at it. So we're of course going to retreat and rebind them from afar. Not sure why I would sacrifice bowmen for 2,000 plus experience. That's not really going to help us as much as rope jinn could. And we have an ambusher discovered in the form of Rapun's de Lyonesse. So we are going to have to take care of her. There is
Commander of Jinn.
There's really no way around dealing with her. What I am concerned about, well, never mind, because Mogan is up there. So we will have to make a move towards him. Not sure if he's going to attack the Pools of Despair. That would probably be his smartest move.
Lord and Master.
I'm wondering if we could reach it. Yeah, we could. So if he makes a move towards the Pools of Despair, then we will reach it from there.
As sure as the sun
We could
rises.
pull Nadim down and have him fortify Al-Haik while we
Devoted
send
to
Bakir
Araby.
down to the Pools of Despair. That way we would be secure on both fronts. That is probably going to be a fight that Bakir has to deal with. Now, taking a look at what the Pools of Despair have, it's not enough to hold off Mogan of the Flame, that's for sure. So I think that's what we'll
You
do.
stand before the Sultan.
I'm not worried about Daniel. Or at least not
You
that
stand
Daniel.
before the Sultan, Lord and Master. You stand before the Sultan.
Now I might end up eating my own words on that. Hopefully not. But I don't think that this guy's going to go for... I don't think he's going to make an attack. That being said,
The Serpent Lord. Fine then.
it's about time that
As
we
sure
start
as the sun rises.
making some real moves here. So let's get Haji
Forward.
up to
Wizard
reinforce us.
supreme of
And it's
Araby.
time for Sultan Jaffar to deal with
Suffer not
Rapun's
the
de Lyonesse.
fool to live.
The rank and file were
Yes, yes,
confused
all
by
right.
Sultan Jaffar's order to take up defensive positions, knowing that they had the advantage. However, the Great Sultan knew that this enemy was unlike the ones he had faced up until this point. Not only did Rapun's have a reputation as a mighty warrior, but when the option to fall back was presented, she had planted her feet. Araby may have initiated the battle, but it would be on her terms. As the ladies' knights charged forward, Jaffar knew there was no time to hesitate. He had to take action and show them his true form immediately. For all their successes up until this point, the forces of Jaffar were finally facing the true might of the Crusaders that had taken them all the way back from Astalia. It was at this moment they needed unity more than anything.
Let's get the saga.
As Haji's forces arrived on the main field of battle, they were shocked to see just how scattered and destroyed Jaffar's personal guard had been. The battle seemed almost lost. However, they had to continue if they were going to liberate the coast. Even as her troops fled, Rapunz stood her ground. Whether it was to buy time for her troops or just due to her own pride, she would not be defeated here. She had already bested Wazar and Jaffar in battle, and she was not about to give up, especially not to, well, Haji. Fearing the loss of one of his greatest generals, Jaffar ordered Haji back to behind his lines, indicating that the troops would be enough to fell this witch. However, as the battle carried on, they soon found that this might have been an even bigger mistake. Rapunz was surrounded and outnumbered. Yes, these things were true. It's also true that she would eventually be defeated, but at the loss of over 1,000 Arabians to her sword alone. As Jaffar and his command team looked on at the horror of one single knight besting an entire army, he began to think to himself his strategy would have to change, else he would rule over a kingdom of bones. And what a Pyrrhic victory indeed. Rapunz was able to bring down 936 of our soldiers on her own. We're gonna have to fall back. There's not gonna be a continuation on this front. We're gonna have to move all the way back. I mean, even replenishing 16%, it's not gonna be enough. That is quite a few slaves though, so that's good. Let's see what he's got left.
You stand before the Sultan.
And it's definitely tempting to move on Vincent, but we're going to hold off just for now, because we're still in our own the safety of our own territory.
Commander
or at least Haji is. Let's go ahead and pull Sultan Jaffar back.
I find this acceptable.
And there's just unfortunately not enough troops to go around. Had I been focusing Jaffar on his blue tree, then we would have been better off probably, but unfortunately that's just not the case. So let's see. Plus 10% weapon strength when fighting against basically anybody. That's pretty powerful. Let's see what else we've got. Income from trade tariffs, that would be great, but not really what we're focused on right now. That would help a lot for the palace guard, but we don't have a bunch of those just yet. And then what was this Will of Jaffar thing? Plus 8 leadership for everybody. It's definitely tempting to go down that path. I think what we're going to do is go for Desires of Conquest. So nothing will stop me. Not the Northerners, not the Elves, not the Dwarfs, Setras, lackeys, or anyone else. I will rule this world, or see it burnt to ashes around me. That's pretty intense. Let's go for that. Now, I wish one of those would have been a replenishment buff instead, but that's okay. We'll see what else we can get done here. We could go with Foe Seeker. We really just need to continue making him as tough as he can be. No, not that one. So Beast Slayer. That plus 15 armor would help a lot, but as we saw in that last battle, I mean, he got melted by Rapans. There was just nothing that we could do against her. That unit experience per turn would be fantastic for the army. And then I would love Unbreakable, if he was actually unbreakable. I mean, that's going to continue to make him tougher, but let's go with the favored by the Sultan. So loyalty is rewarded, but unfaithfulness is severely punished. And that's going to be it for them. Let's check out what Haji can do.
As sure as the sun rises.
We're going to go with Renowned and Feared, get that upkeep down a little bit further. Now, Haji was able to pull out of that battle with most of his army intact.
Commander
Jaffar took a little bit heavier damage. I'm trying to see what we lost on Jaffar's end. I can't really tell. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Nothing huge seems to be missing. I'm not sure what was completely wiped out here. Because we didn't have 5 spears. Or we didn't have 6 spears. We only had the 5, I'm pretty sure. Maybe it was a unit of warriors. But I thought it was 4-4. The palace guard. No, they're gone. That's what it was. Damn. I thought we would have been able to save them. Apparently that is not the case. So we will replace them with some warriors. And then when we get back up to Al-Haik, we will get more palace guards. And that sucks. They've been with Sultan Jaffar since the beginning. But it was a necessary sacrifice for sure.
As sure as the sun rises.
And once again, that's going to bring us to the end of this turn.
My axe thirsts for war.
And I'll see you in the next one. Outpost. Oh, have we not built an outpost at Soot? Oh no, it's an upgrade. Okay. We'll have to keep an eye on Soot.
Commander of G.
Actually, as a matter of fact, let me back up real quick.
Lord and Master.
Let's look at allied recruitment. See what we can get from the famished. Oh yeah, let's see. We don't have a lot to play with as far as allegiance points, but we don't have to have a whole lot to get some tough ogres in here. So let's just start with some ogre bulls. That's going to be fantastic. And that's going to be it for this turn. Now, I don't know how much longer we've got left in this episode, but I say we keep on going just a little bit longer. Alright, and picking things back up. Looks like we've actually had a successful mission. I don't even remember getting that mission, but I'm happy with it. We have researched 8 technologies. Let's see what else we've got here. Let's take a look and see what else we can really get done. Truth behind the myth. No, we're gonna wait on that. Let's go with... We're not under any kind of siege right now. Yeah, let's go with not one step back. Oh no, we've already done that one. So what we're instead going to go with is maps. That's going to help us keep this campaign really moving and grooving. Let's see what else we can get going.
You stand before the Sultan.
And we've got plenty of income. I'm not sure where that's from. Did we finish a... No. I guess it was from that battle. Yeah, because we're not done on Jabala's Way. We've still got 3 more turns to go on that one. There we go.
Devoted to Araby.
It does look like we have a convoy from the Chaos Dwarfs coming in.
You stand before the Sultan.
And it does appear that Mogan is heading south, possibly towards the Great Desert of Araby. That's a pretty low value target for him. If he wants to take that,
As sure
then
as the
that's
sun
fine,
rises.
honestly.
You stand before the Sultan.
And I forgot that we get our own unique ogres when we do get ogres. I love it. I can't wait to see them on the field of battle. Now let's take a look and see what else we can do as far as bringing some more of our ogres in. Let's get a few more just standard ogre bulls. And then we might do some Iron Fist just to have an elite core.
You stand before the
And
Sultan.
how much per turn are dual weapon ones? Let's do that. We'll do 2 dual weapon, and then we'll get 2 Iron Fist. And that'll make a pretty solid core. And it looks like our boy here is T-posing. I'll have to report that to the modder.
Servant Lord.
And it does appear that we're in a pretty precarious position. We could go after Hayden Lancer. That might be the smartest thing to do. Try to wipe them out.
Lord
but I
and
fear
master.
that if we make a move on the Sorcerer's Islands, that's going to take a pretty big dent out of our forces.
Wizard Supreme of Araby. As sure as the sun rises. You stand before the Sultan.
And then we've got Mogan's army that we have to worry about as well. How they're producing so many soldiers
Forbidden.
is kind of beyond me. That's quite a few.
Devoted to Araby.
Speaking of producing soldiers, we need to worry about producing some of our own here. We're gonna pull in some. Let's get some bowmen going. That'll help a lot. And that's quite a few knights to be worried about as well. So they've got 4 units of knights. These guys got 4 more units of knights. Those questing knights are going to be very dangerous. They were the most dangerous unit next to Rapunz herself. And like I said before, we've got to move quickly
Commander
if we want
of
to.
Jinns.
Well, if we want to deal with these guys head on. And this. Oh no. Pushing them out of that city is going to be too much for the army as
The
it stands right
Serpent
now.
Lord.
So what we're going to do is we're going to fall back
Harry.
to the Wizard Callus
Yes,
Palace.
yes, all right.
That might be a little short-sighted, but attacking that garrison how it is now with our troops, not going to happen.
Lord and Master. I go. Wizard Supreme of Araby.
And I think the same really kind of goes for Lashik. They have too many troops for us to overcome the way that we are now. We're going to have to bring all of the armies of Araby to war against the coast. And then Coffer is no pushover either.
Devoted to Araby.
I was hoping that we could bring down Rapunz and her knights pretty quickly, but it looks like the big push to finally rid ourselves of the Crusaders is going to take quite a little while. So I believe that's where we're going to go ahead and call things for today. We'll finish up this turn.
Serpent Lord.
That way we're starting fresh, not on an end turn in our next episode. But except for that, let's take a look. We could upgrade the Black Tower of Arcan.
You stand before the Sultan.
Let's have him defend the Great Desert of Araby. We'll see if he'll actually do it. That'd be really, really kind of him to do so.
You stand before the Sultan.
And then we'll kind of shadow Mogan to see what he does.
To me. You stand before the Sultan.
Hopefully he doesn't get too brave and turn to fight us.
Devoted
if he
to
does,
Araby.
then we'll deal with it then. But that's going to be the end of this turn and the end of our episode. Guys, let me know what you guys are thinking of the series so far. Which direction do you think that we should be moving to try and defeat this mass of armies here on the coastline? And I will catch you in the next one. To all my friends, wherever you are, good morning, good evening, and good night. If you made it this far into the video, I just want to say thanks for watching, especially to those of you who have been with me since the beginning. I am still having a blast and very much enjoying the formation of this community with all of you. If you have any suggestions for videos you would like to see, please let me know, because I want to make even better content as we continue down this journey together. As always, if you enjoy what I'm doing here and want to support me, then you know what to do.
Comment, like, and subscribe.
And we'll see you in the next one.